one of the very first things she says, and she talks about why she called the book Pussy, and she's talking about it in terms of like reclaiming the word. That so often it's used as a negative, like, oh, stop being a pussy. You're such a pussy. And we get embarrassed by the word, and men use it to like degrade each other and to not be embarrassed and to really own it. So I have this book, and on the cover it says huge in gold letters, Pussy. And we go away for a long weekend. We go to France with my husband and his parents. We go to France, and I bring this book, and we're at the beach, and he's got other family members, like some cousins that show up and some little kids. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm embarrassed by the title of this book. This is exactly what she's talking about. I like don't want my family-in-law to see Pussy on this book that I'm reading.
I've got it in my bag, and I was worried about reading it on the plane.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God. This is part of what she's talking about, is being embarrassed about our power, about that word. She's using that as, the word, but it is a little bit of like being the flirt and turning that on, being perceived as like a floozy or easy or cheap or a slut, or all of those words that get wrapped up in just owning your sexuality, your power, and it's sometimes it's challenging for me. I can turn it on, and when I turn it on, it's incredible what happens. I'm not that person all the time, but I can be that person.